You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below. Be sure to smash that like button. LSU's postseason destinations. People have asked this question a lot now, and it's pretty easy. You have really only two options. If because of the loss to Texas A&M, LSU at 9-3 is now out of the New Year's Six mix, with the exception of an automatic berth as the SEC champion. So if LSU, it's this easy. If LSU beats Georgia, LSU is the SEC champion, and they go to the Sugar Bowl and play very likely Kansas State. No, I'm sorry, it wouldn't be likely. They would play Kansas State. So if Kansas State beats TCU, Kansas State would not be in the playoff, but they would be the Big 12 champion in the Sugar Bowl. And if TCU beats Kansas State, then TCU's in the playoff and K-State goes to the Sugar Bowl. So if LSU beats Georgia, they will play Kansas State in the Sugar Bowl. If LSU loses to Georgia, this is where the loss to Texas A&M stings so badly. Because you are now 9-3, when the playoff rankings come out tomorrow, you are going to drop. And you're going to drop below Alabama and Tennessee. So if you lose to Georgia, Georgia will be in the playoff. Alabama, which will very likely be ranked ahead of Tennessee, would go to the Sugar Bowl to take on Kansas State. Tennessee, as the next highest rated SEC team, would go to the Orange Bowl to take on the ACC champion, either Clemson or North Carolina. And that means LSU would go to the Citrus Bowl to play a Big Ten team, either Illinois or Purdue. Purdue plays in the Big Ten championship game this weekend. Theoretically, Purdue could get blasted by Michigan, and Illinois could be the choice. But very likely, I think it would be Purdue. So you'd either play Purdue or Illinois in the Citrus Bowl. And that is massively disappointing. There is no way around it. When 48 hours ago, we are thinking, man, you beat A&M, your worst-case scenario is the Orange Bowl. If you win, maybe you get in the postseason. Maybe you get in the playoffs. If you lose, you're in either the Sugar Bowl or the Orange Bowl. Either way, great scenario. But you lost to A&M. And if you lose to Georgia, you would be a 9-4 football team playing in the Citrus Bowl against either Illinois or Purdue. As a matter of fact, we put that up as our Citizens Bank poll question of the day. If you're LSU, who would you rather play in the Citrus Bowl? Illinois or Purdue? So you can get to the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge Twitter feed and vote in that poll. I don't know that there's a great option. I mean, neither is appealing. I mean, Brett Bielema, obviously, there's some history there because of his time at Arkansas. Purdue, there's nothing really there to move the needle. It's that's a pretty miserable scenario, especially considering you will start next season in that stadium against Florida State. So you would finish there this year and start there next year. And look, we've seen LSU do that before, but it was a different scenario. They finished the 2010 season in Jerry World in the Cotton Bowl against A&M, but that was a great reward in that 2010 season to go to that game. They had moved it to Jerry World, and they were actively trying to muscle their way into the Access Bowl rotation, which they did because great NFL stadium, big time games. It was just awesome, right? I mean, the whole backdrop of the Cotton Bowl elevated when they moved to Jerry World. And then LSU started the 2011 season there against Oregon in a top 5 matchup, so it was appealing either way. This one would not be. The season opener next year against Florida State would be far more appealing than going to the Citrus Bowl for a January 2nd game against either Purdue or Illinois, especially when, we were all thinking, man, you're either going to the playoff, Sugar Bowl, or Orange Bowl, and now if you can't pull a gigantic upset against Georgia, you're staring the Citrus Bowl down to play either Purdue or Illinois. That's it. That's LSU scenarios. There aren't other scenarios out there. So we know what it'll be for LSU. It all depends on what happens Saturday against Georgia. They're at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.